Yeah, let me have a conversation about my blackness for a second. In an election year, and also when you have circumstances that Ime Udoka put himself in, circumstances that you have Kyrie Irving put himself in, I've literally seen people trying to politicize the messengers. And I'm one of those people. And let me just say this out loud. It's very important. I did more for this culture before 9 a.m. today than most people gonna do in their lifetime. Just because I don't think Kyrie should be derailing the next season, just because I don't believe that the lady's name should be exposed based on the fact that the power dynamics are at play and it's more to the Ime situation than most of you guys know. If I'm not trumpeting what is low-hanging fruit, that don't make me a sellout. And by the way, I was with the great Sir Charles Barkley last night. And we had a 2-hour conversation about this. 2-hour conversation about this in person. Had a 2-hour conversation with Charles Barkley about this. Just because I don't agree with Kanye or Kyrie, that don't mean that I'm cooning for the man. That means that I don't believe what he doing is right. That's a fact. And so it's important for people that look like me, Jacoby, in particular, to not politicize what's happening with Kyrie and Ime and Kanye and shoot the messenger. I ain't gonna always ride with somebody just because they black. If I think you wrong, I don't care what color you are. That's just being real. I ain't about to be following behind nobody that I think is wrong. And let me tell y'all something else. What he doing ain't an act of civil rights. He's not being oppressed. He ain't being oppressed. He getting $40 million to play basketball this year. He ain't being oppressed. So I just had to say that. And woosah. Because this podcast is therapy for me.
Come on, you jive turkeys. What kind of rundown is this? Look, man, I gotta get back to the streets where I come from, sucker. Hold it! I told you, jive chumps, I ain't no snitch. Who said you were?
I'm not even gonna lie. I made this commentary because I made the graphic, and I used it briefly in another video. And I think it's a shame. I like my handiwork. I'm not gonna lie about that. You know, sometimes I take the time out to make it one hell of a thumbnail or a graphic. And, I want to use it right now. The drag Charles Barkley. Unconfirmed. Unconfirmed, I had heard that he had actually called up Adam Silver and shit and, pressed upon him that he needed to suspend Kyrie Irving. I don't have any proof. It's just a accusation. But I can see him doing that and whatnot because for most of his career, and since we've been seeing him on the world stage and shit, he's been an embarrassment to black people and shit. Even though I don't think he really identifies as a black person and shit, whether he like to admit it or not. I'll never hear him talking about any black shit, like really, unless it's in the negative. He always doing something embarrassing and shit. He's always, as you can see, he's always been, putting on a fucking dress and a wig and shit and, dancing for Master for his biscuits. Yeah, I know he's wealthy. He had that little ad campaign. I'm not a role model back in the day. I think that's the most honest he's ever been in his life. Okay, and it's weird. He has to sit up, and talk to Shaq and everything. And Shaq was one of the motherfuckers that ended his career. He had a scuffle with Shaq and broke his fucking ankle, and then that was it for him for the season or whatever. Yeah, he was trying to like out muscle Shaq, like was going to the rim and shit. I forget what team he was on. Maybe it was the Phoenix Suns. If I'm wrong, I don't give a shit. I just tired of this fat cornbread eating motherfucker. This is like a classic brute, a brainless brute and shit. He's right up there with Bob Sapp, who I dragged like a year and a half ago. Yeah, he could fit in that category. He's a brute. He's a mindless brute with money. Okay? And I just hate the sight. I'm tired of looking at this nigga. Okay? I don't give a shit. I'm do some colors. I hate this big, light-skinned, country biscuit eating, thick ass, evil eyebrow motherfucking shit. His cheeks is full of nuts. White nuts, if you get my drift. He don't give a shit. He probably wear that dress for all the motherfuckers, man. Get on his hands and knees. And now he over here supposedly mentoring the Jalen Rose. Like I like to call him the counterfeit Jalen Rose now. He has no agency. And I defended Jalen Rose in one video when he was kicking out his stud sister and shit. And his, entitled fucking sister. I stand by that, okay? Fuck that bitch. But these niggas over here, I can't fuck with the NBA like that, okay? I know some of you guys do that. I don't know if you feel anything when you look at this shit now that you know the deal. Now that they've been put out on Front Street and shit by Kyrie Irving. A couple other brothers and shit. Colin Kaepernick put the NFL out on Front Street and shit when he just took a fucking knee. A lot of people talking shit. Oh, I don't know. He's so arrogant. They always say that. The minority majority always say arrogant. That's their fallback when they feel like they have no fucking power over a black man and shit. Okay, even a mixed one. They always say that. I remember when Obama got in the White House. The agent Obama, the fake ass, Mr. Obama. I don't call him the president. I remember when he got in the White House the next fucking day, I was listening like Rush Limbaugh or somebody, and they were saying he's, entitled or something. What's that shit? Yeah, entitled or some shit. They say that shit whenever they think we have power. He's arrogant. Yeah, arrogant. Oh, he's so arrogant and shit and entitled. I'm like, yeah, okay. I would like to hear a lot more of that in the future, but I don't think I will. Like, we're really fucking up these days as an ethnic group and shit. And we need to get our shit together. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen until we knock off 2/3 of our own population through their own sheer ignorance and the, lack of, being able to pay attention to the forest for the trees. And to that end, I wanted to make this commentary because I wanted to drag Charles Barkley. But honestly, be honest with you, because I don't lie to my audience. I like the graphic you see before you, so I didn't want to just, I didn't just want to just throw it away without doing something with it. However brief. Fuck Charles Barkley. I'm tired of his ass. When I see him, I just turn the channel, or if there's something else I'm doing, I just mute it. Like, I don't want to see these motherfuckers. I'm tired of these goddamn coons. There's no consequences that stick for fucking with black people and shit, okay? There's no consequences that stick. And every time you see one of these motherfuckers, like a, coon-ass Stephen A. or whoever the fuck, sitting up there running their mouth, talking out of pocket, and Stephen A. is a tether, and talking out of pocket and shit, they know there's no consequences. Like, it ain't like nobody's gonna step to them in public or nothing, like still on this, you know what I mean? Metaphorically speaking, YouTube, just keep my ass covered with them standards and practices. There's no consequences. So people have to sit up, because, you people can't do without your fucking sports and shit. You can't, and these niggas in sports got no balls. None of those dudes in the players union or nothing. They should have had that shit taken care of in 24 hours. Or 24 hours, or at least 24 to 72 hours. So I'd be like this. Okay, Kyrie doesn't come back by that 5th game, we will stop playing in mass until he returns. All right? And hold that shit hostage. Force them all to, the NBA was really, if them brothers was really about each other and shit, was really about something, they would have all sat out the games. Everyone would have sat out collectively until old boy came back to his job. And, it would have been cool hearing all them motherfucking sportscasters and Stephen A. and all those coons And Charles and Shaq's monkey ass sitting up there calling these dudes traitors or some shit or whatever the fuck they would say. The script would, whatever the teleprompter tells those goons, those coon biscuit eating goons to say. All right. So yeah, you look at professional sports, you look at all them brothers out there, doing whatever they get them big bucks and all that shit. Hey, at least I got these millions of dollars. I got millions of dollars and no free will. And I get all the white women I can fucks and shit. Eventually, I'm gonna lose all this money in divorce and shit or allegations or God knows what else, fines and shit. They gonna make sure they get all that money back and shit. The house always wins. But you motherfuckers are gonna keep watching this shit. That's why the house always wins the shit. And them dumbass niggas, they don't stick up for each other. They don't have no sense of, there's no fraternal order in the NBA amongst Negroes. So Kyrie Irving shouldn't have been out that many games. I know he's back now and shit. And I don't know how I feel about it. Now I ain't gonna call him no, sell out nothing because he finally came back and did the little shitty apology. I ain't gonna call him that. He's a man. All right, he's a fucking man. And because he did what he did and they made a big deal out of it, really that certain ethnic group, they decided to make this thing bigger than what it was. It's not Kyrie's fault. It's their fault they made it bigger than what it was. They could have ignored it and just shot him a fine under the door. He could have just disputed that on the download with his union rep. But no, they brought him to the mainstream media. They wanted to make him cry and cry. And he didn't do none of that shit. He had a stone face. And that's the face we should all have as we take back our ethnic community from all these goofies and shit, and these coons, and these pookies, and all these other motherfuckers, and the Charles Barkleys of the world. The great Charles Barkley. I can't say that enough. Gina Rose be damned. The great Charles Barkley, or Sir Charles Barkley, whatever the fuck you got, the great booty man. He's a breed mare. I learned that from some sister on TikTok and shit. She's talking about brothers. Yeah. Charles Barkley is a breed mare for the a certain ethnic group. I almost said it. Fuck Disney Plus. Sorry, fraudulent slip and shit. Fuck. Goddamn, I'm gonna get off here. Bye.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I be connecting them down like, why all these brothers gotta wear a dress? This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here.
Come on, you jive turkeys. What kind of rundown is this? Look, man, I gotta get back to the streets where I come from, sucker. Hold it! I told you, jive chumps, I ain't no snitch. Who said you were?